Howdy y'all, you got the Bulldog on the channel. It is 8:30. I'm finally heading home. But I did not get the AC job done. I got it pumped down like in the last video, and I went to taking the pump off after I shot the video, and I knew it wasn't going to be a cakewalk even though it looked easy. I went ahead on the 4-liter of them Fords. I mean, the 2.3 just sits there on top, you pick it straight up. It's easy. Well, it's in close to the same position on the 4.0, but instead it comes off the side at a downward angle. But that's okay, you just back the bolts off and pull the compressor out, right? Well, no. 2 of them are studs. So you have to slide the compressor all the way off the stud. But, yeah, we'll just see. It doesn't look like there's room enough for it to come out, but we'll see. I buzzed the top bolt out. I buzzed the manifold bolt out first, knocked the line off the back. And I thought, well, it might give me a little bit more room, make it a little bit more easy to get to everything and give me room to get the compressor out if the power steering reservoir is out of the way, which bolts right on top of it. And I unbolted the reservoir and moved it aside, did not take the lines off. I don't do that unless I absolutely have to. And undid the bracket off of the air conditioning power steering pump bracket and moved the bracket off to the side, got it all ready, and then I buzzed out the top bolt and it came out just fine. Worked on the top stud, broke it loose. When I was backing the nut up, it caught the stud and broke it loose, so I spun the stud out. Cool. All right. That's one less I have to contend with. And I reached down underneath and broke the bolt off of the, or broke the bolt loose on the bottom corner and buzzed it out of the threads, and it would not come out of the compressor. It was stuck. Like I say, steel might rust, but aluminum corrodes, and it corroded the hole shut to the point you couldn't get the bolt out. So, oh well, it could just stay in there. I reached over to the other side, broke the nut loose on the stud. I couldn't get to it, And I thought, well, I peeked down underneath the wheel well. Oh, it's right there. And I reached in with my big long extension and I broke that nut loose and spun it off. Okay, cool, let's drop it off there. And it was stuck. My boss got back from, I'd worked on it about 5 minutes, wiggling it with pry bars, and it didn't even budge. And my boss got back with a new compressor and a new orifice tube. He said, well, you can go home if you want, because the dryer won't be here till Tuesday. Well, okay. But let's get this compressor off there, because I'm not doing any better than you. So I looked at it. We wiggled on it a little bit. Yeah, it's not even trying. So, well, I'll bet that I can have that whole bracket assembly off of there in about 10 minutes. And we just put it on a bench and work on it. And I knocked the fan off of it, pulled the fan shroud out, broke power steering pump pulley loose. It was bolted on rather than pressed on, so I buzzed it off, dropped 3 bolts out of the power steering pump, dropped the power steering pump down off of the bracket. They had a relief in the bottom of it where you could drop it off without taking anything loose. Power steering hose bracket, pulled it off of there, and then 4 bolts, zip, 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 zip. Pull the whole bracket that holds the AC in place, pull the whole off of the truck, put it over on a bench. We put a nut back on the stud, and I put a heck of a pry on it while he hit the hit the nut, had a socket sitting over the nut, hit it with an air hammer, vibrated it, and it broke loose. And then it wouldn't come out of the compressor. Wiggled around, finally put some vice grips on the stud down the shaft. It would come up about this far. Put some vice grips there and broke the stud loose, backed the stud out of the bracket, moved the bracket out of the way, and now we're working on just the AC compressor. And it took us a good 20 minutes to get that bolt and stud out of the compressor because the holes were corroded shut. Now, we were pouring acid on it all this time, just hydrochloric acid. It cleans aluminum really well. So we kept trying that. Eventually got it apart. It's ready to go back together Tuesday morning whenever we get all the parts. So figure I'd give you an update, but that's how it usually goes. You know, right before holiday, you're trying desperately to get one out. You just can't do it. Something is in your way, so you climb over it. And then something bigger is in your way, so you build a ladder and climb over that. And then something gigantic is in the way, so you keep trying to build tools until you run out of stuff to do anything with. So, and story of my life. Like, comment, subscribe, get your little bell notification, share it around. Talk to you later.